come to US president? Like in the Oval Office?
Possibly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but this is I'm changing my scene to suit the situation. There we go. Right. So let's talk COVID.
Sanitize your hand. You just.
It's not working there. I tried to. Look at this. Look.
Everything falling apart. Everything.
It's not coming out. This is sabotage, you know. What is the hit?
I just want to say just open it.
Yeah, Kevon.
I shouldn't have to.
I know.
As you were saying.
So let's just start off with our nation's numbers for vaccinations. I think that's a safe place to start. So we are now, as of Monday the 24th of May, we are at first dose 49.4% of the target population, and second dose 18.1% of the target population. We slow and steady, I guess. So far we've administered a total of 22,278 doses. Split that up, you have St Kitts batch 16,810, Nevis batch 5,468. Fully vaccinated persons are almost 6,000. So, yeah. So that's where we are vaccine-wise.
Hello.
No, something in my throat.
Right. Jade. Jade.
Rona.
Why pass out right, my cat.
Wow.
We have to quarantine this room now.
I think it's a piece of popcorn.
The quarantine, the room is quarantine. He can't come out in there till next month.
14 days.
Friend.
Oh, okay. I have to sing the song over because I was given a 3 out of 10.
Oh yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that today.
A 1.
Wow.
A 2. A 1.
Joseph ain't playing with me today, boy.
Oh, okay.
No,
But
See?
That was worse. But
hey.
we move.
But yeah, this whole thing is
what whole thing?
The whole situation we're having now with a few corona cases popping up in the community.
Whose community?
In the community.
Kevon, you want to tell them what situation we currently dealing with? Just in case they were, on vacation this weekend and didn't realize.
Yeah. So since you were, in Utopia, just in case you're in Utopia this weekend, St. Kitts is currently dealing with a situation of, dare I say, community spread. I don't know if it's been deemed community spread as yet, but
it's spreading in the community.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So originally, it started off with a worker of a hotel, being tested and was positive for COVID. Follow-up tests were then done, and it was then disclosed that a traveler from Argentina who is currently in quarantine is basically like patient 0 in St. Kitts, and that is where the hotel worker would have caught COVID from. Subsequently, another hotel worker who was not only in contact with the traveler but the initial hotel worker who was positive, so number 47. 46? 6 or 7?
46 was the hotel worker.
Yeah.
47 was the...
Yeah, 46.
Yeah.
So, and then it all kind of goes down here from there. Hundreds of tests have been done since then, and we are now up to... Hold on, I'm going to give you the actual number. So, we are now up to 15 active cases as of May 24th, yesterday. This is an update as of 8:30 p.m. We added 6 additional cases to what we have, which brings us up to 15 active cases.
Yeah.
As such, all schools have been closed. All primary and secondary schools have been closed for 2 weeks. And we just start asking the public to be mindful. If you're experiencing any type of symptoms, please stay home. Stay home. Call one of the hotlines, let them know you're experiencing whatever symptoms. They will be able to guide you accordingly from there, or call your doctor, let them know. Just don't show up to places. I think that's the big takeaway. Like, don't just show up to the hospital because you don't know who's going, call in advance so people can prepare to receive you in, just in case you might be COVID positive.
Yeah, I think that is important now for us to really, adhere to the protocols. I think we had been lapsed for some time, and I remember we had that situation where a few months back when the flu kind of just ran around the place, and we were like
super easily.
Yeah.
No effort.
I think what's been interesting to me about this entire episode is the realization that like in St Kitts, you're never more than maybe 4, 5, 6 degrees of separation from everybody.
From everybody.
Like
Right.
it's at a point now where somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who live with somebody who have it, and it's only like 15 people who have it.
Yeah,
and
it's a very small country. We know everybody, so
yeah, and the interaction is it's easy to trace back yourself to thing. I go to church with somebody who sister boyfriend is one of them who died. My daughter go to school with one of the like these kind of things. I went to a workshop with such and such and such, and I think that's why it's so important for us to really recognize the potential for this to get very tense.
Speaking of tense, over the last few days there's been heated debate as to what the PM should do as it relates to shutting down or what. So where do you all stand on that?
Okay. I've seen these debates, right? Kevon, I think.
Let me make a quick comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Dr. Wilkinson made a great point at the last press briefing, and he said that we can't just always default to a lockdown. We cannot just do that every time there's a situation. We need to learn to be a little bit more responsible, and we need to be a little bit more cautious, because a lockdown, while it makes sense, it can't just be the fail-safe. Like, it can't just be, COVID, lockdown. It costs a lot, and not in terms of money, but it costs a lot to lock down.
But bro, like, my thing is, like, we have to recognize where we're at now versus where we were last year, March, right? Like, we're at a point where we did not know a lot about the disease, right? We didn't know what incubation periods, there was information coming out about effects, how transmissible it was, like how who were the people most at risk. All these things were questions we were having at the time, right? And so all these things would have impacted the decisions that were being made at the time. We're in a different place now. We have more information. We have a vaccine, right? We also have things in place to facilitate measured responses. So, for instance, closing down the school, no difference to closing down school later, because we've already developed the online platform where children could go and thing. We like businesses now, even if a parent has to stay home with a child, a lot of businesses would have had people who would have been working from home prior. So this is not like reinventing the wheel, right? I do believe that because of all these other things, it makes sense to have a measured response. Like, it's a measured response. That's what's going on. So if you recognize that certain communities may be more at risk, then you deal with that community, you try to isolate, and as more information comes forward, then you act accordingly. Like, that's been my whole thing. Like, act based on the knowledge that you have, right? Before we acted because we didn't have knowledge. We didn't have any knowledge, so we had to go to the max to avoid anything. But now when we have more knowledge, we have more ways to combat. Like, I'm really, to be honest, I was looking at the press briefing, and this is the first time, I was telling you guys, it's the first time I really decided to look at the comments. Really, it kind of happened by accident.
Oh, don't.
And I am gravely disappointed.
No, never read it.
I am gravely disappointed.
On any press briefing, on any PM speech, don't read the comments.
And the thing that was crazy to me, right, was that the people that are most vocal on these, like in the chat section, kind of skew towards one type of like positioning. Right?
Yeah, one type of narrative.
Yeah, it's like you don't have this balance. The balance.
Yeah.
Right? Because for instance, like I remember, like I was looking at this thing, right? People cussing them because they're not wearing masks. And I'm thinking to myself, like, everybody in there fully vaccinated. Like,
but as in, everything you just said, right, is accurate and correct and 100% and on point. However, there's another side to this coin, which is the side that you're talking about is the fact that the authorities now have a wealth of information that they can use to aid them in decision making. But the other side of the coin is we have a population that doesn't care.
Yep.
Yeah.
A massive portion of the population
that is either anti-vax or
vax-hesitant,
or don't care, or don't know, or just ignorant.
Comfortable in ignorance.
Right?
Yeah.
So while we can sit here and say, yes, the CMO and Cameron and Abias and them and actually has information and they can take things in strides as information comes and they move to plan B, plan C, plan D. While they're taking time to figure out which plan to move to, people are moving around. So when they say, okay, we have 2 students at BHS, for example, that has the virus, let us isolate them and test their surroundings. While tests are being done, while we're waiting on results, people have been going to the beach and going to Vice Beach Bar and
then going shopping and all kind of things.
Which is why.
And then you know what? The sad part is those are the same people that's going to jump on these NEOC briefings and curse. Why is this happening? Y'all let this happen. No, I mean, they're trying their best, but at this end of the day, they're speaking to humans that have free will. And if you just do what you want with that free will, I'm be irresponsible. This is the situation we gotta be in.
That is why on I think it was Friday, I said, yes, I understand why they stopped parties, but letting bars and all these things just be open. When people literally, listen, when people hear or suspect or feel like we're going into a lockdown, you know what they're doing? They're going outside to try and party for the last because they know.
Yeah, trying to get the party in.
And there's something we spoke about a few months ago to Bailey, which is the fact is the whole prohibition concept.
Yeah.
When you mandate that you can't have events are illegal. What you do now is you force people to have underground events
and they were
that you have no control or track and can't track.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't believe that would ever stop, and that's the sad part. And if
it won't stop, but it will increase. Whereas if I have an event, if I had an event on Saturday, for example, I would have a guest log, and Jade and Kevon and you would have been at my event. But because my event is cancelled, Jade and Kevon and Azem are now forced to go to somebody's backyard that has no log.
Yeah, but you see, that's Jade and Azem and Kevon decision to go to somebody's backyard. As a matter of fact,
and they will go. That's my argument.
And the thing is, I remember, like, I'll give you before an example. Saturday night, can't sleep. Like I wonder if it's a karaoke going on. Like, if there's a big karaoke going on the road, I don't know what going on. Like,
so we cancelled. So the Cromwell announced that over 100 and something events were cancelled. Events that would have had a guest log, that would have done temperature checks, and they replaced by 100 events that didn't have anything.
At all. Yeah. That is why it didn't make any sense to me to say, y'all could have free will, do whatever y'all want, but go to.
Which is why I would have supported, and many people disagree, some sort of curfew while contact tracing is being done.
Yes, but why would you disagree with that?
A lot of people disagree with that.
How? And everybody moving.
Yeah, because we also have to.
Everybody go home at 6 o'clock.
There's some people that are on the extreme train, meaning just lockdown. You know, some people's solution.
No, I'm talking about 24 hours. I'm talking about curfew.
Well, yeah.
From 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. Well,
that is what we discussed that, and I think even in the chat when we were talking about it, I was suggesting, well, if they get to a point where there's obvious spread, meaning like
Like me arm.
Like outside of the family of the initial case.
But
Yeah.
just-
Then you
uh,
look for that's what I'm saying. So you look for a curfew at that point.
And then we
Yeah.
So we are not- that's
and
not
then
what we
we
are now?
Yeah, so yeah, we are on the same page. Yeah.
and then we've cancelled
That's what I'm
events, but we have restaurants open serving food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it takes is one waitress or waiter to have the virus
Mm-hmm.
from one of these original cases and serve 100 meals.
Yeah, and I
And
think
then you have no idea who buy the meals.
yeah, I think what happens, like I said, there's a couple of things going on here. I do believe that the government, and this is an assumption, but I do believe the government probably getting some real pressure from the chamber. I think that's one.
Yes, I hear.
Oh, so I may even hear that, but that would just be that would just
But I feel like there's something else too.
okay.
You know, I got the juice, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that's one. Two, I believe that, again, we're in a different position now. So in terms of the availability of the vaccine. So for instance, like I was looking for a step up in availability, meaning just like how yesterday was a holiday and they open up the health centers,
Right.
like things like that they are going to think. And I think they said like 100 and something people vaccinated yesterday.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
told-
Right.
as I remember, I told you we're going to hit the 50% mark before the month finished. And you told me no.
But that was last month, Jade.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yes, Jade.
Where is it now? Oh, April?
Oh, I thought it was this one. But I still was correct.
You're half by a month, you're doing good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Saying
yeah.
it.
But I do believe that just like how there's some things that are sparking people to go to the vaccination centers, like this is just another one. CPL, we see a jump right after the CPL was announced. Like right after we hear 46, 47, 48 down to 50 or 52, wherever we are now, we can see another spark. But I do want to say that this isn't unexpected. Like to me, this is expected. I think we did well to last this long without
Yeah,
having
yeah,
the breaches,
yeah.
right?
I said it just this morning. We had a very good one.
Hey,
One of the best in the world.
and one of the things that's interesting to me, like as much as we don't make joke and say those don't put things and St Kitts blessed and so, things that just happen to work out so kind of weird, right? For St Kitts, imagine, right? We don't have no midterm break for schools. We announce it
Yeah.
the exact same weekend
It
when
coincides with
there's
the
a
break.
chance of outbreak in the schools, a whole holiday weekend. So it's like how things are just kind of fall in place for us. But whoever praying, keep praying, yeah.
For now.
Yeah. No, but even so, to be honest, I'll be totally honest. I was still in Jade, but like expect more cases.
Yeah.
But no,
Definitely.
but I mean, to be hearing that we getting like 2 a day, 4 a day, 6 a day, like
Yeah.
to me,
And you know the
to
sad
me
part
that
is
it ain't as bad as
numbers are
it
increasing.
could have been by. To be totally honest.
But you see, it always starts out like this. It was 1 a day, then 2 a day. Now it's and the
Exponential.
numbers are just gonna keep increasing. It's just
Yeah,
gonna go
as you
from
test
you know,
the numbers on it.
Yeah.
yesterday
Don't be
was
surprised if today
today
they come back and say we have 15 new cases.
20.
Yeah,
I
but
hope not, eh?
It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
go
Don't be
up.
surprised if it happens.
No, but
Yeah.
you won't be surprised. You won't be surprised.
No, a lot
And-
of people will. A lot of people will because a lot of people
People will
still
panic.
ain't believe this is happening. You know, like you see when we said don't read comments, not accidentally. I went on Facebook.
You don't go wrong.
This is your fault, Jade.
It is truly,
You don't go wrong.
and I read some statuses and comments. I am worried.
Yo,
I am
sensible
very
people,
I'm
yo.
worried because
Yo, them 6 cases yesterday, people panicking them. I was with people who legit like after they was like, yo, yeah, right? Like they just zone out and just like, bye. I'm fighting like suppose we live in like Trinidad and Jamaica.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have a problem with acknowledging that there's an issue because, like we talk about all the time, the concern for me is getting to a point where we have a health system that's struggling to deal with the situation, right? So that's my thing. The panic. And that was my issue last week when we were talking about people going to the stores and so. I don't have a problem with preparation. Like I don't ever want to knock people for preparation. Like if you anticipate something, the logical thing to do is to prepare ahead of time. That's like saying wait till they say the hurricane coming tomorrow to go shopping. No, go buy a battery them now. You understand where I'm coming from? Prepare. And so the panic thing is a whole different situation, and I do think we're at a point now where we have some people who, for different reasons, panicking, but on the flip side, like you keep pointing out, there's some people who, thank you. Some people still think the same way.
They're standing strong in the belief, okay?
The amount of people who think that's like this is a government ploy to get people to go take the vaccine.
And Azem. And
what
the side of the coin that you are talking about, with the experience and the wealth of knowledge that we now have, is useless if you have a population that feel they're being tricked.
Yeah.
And that's how they feel.
That's wild.
So it's like the CMO and the task force could have all the information, all the knowledge you want, and have all the things in place for plan B, plan C, code red, code yellow. But if the people don't care, it's irrelevant.
The thing about this, right, is just how the narratives not only skew in one direction, but they're so outrageous. And that's why I tell you we need to combat with our own sense of outrageousness.
Oh yeah, you didn't give any tips today. You have one for us?
Well, what I would say, I was speaking to somebody who took the vaccine yesterday, and reports coming back to me is that they've gotten the best sleep they've ever gotten since they were a babe. So if you're having trouble sleeping,
actually, no,
go take your vaccine.
Wait, this one mightn't be a
no, I'm telling you.
Fact.
I'm telling you.
My sleep was good too.
Yeah, boy.
I'm telling you. So if you're having trouble sleeping,
for
guys,
3 days, panel. my following 3 sleeps were absolutely amazing.
Listen.
I can't wait for the second dose. Okay, next week.
yeah.
But when he said it for real, right? I didn't say that was like the best sleep I get in a long time.
It didn't knock it down, good job, man.
But you know the thing about it too, usually when you sleep, like when you oversleep, you wake up with a headache and you feel sick and I wake up fine.
Yep. But guys, we have some people who wanna call in. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Yeah, good morning. How are you, man?
Morning. Very good.
Yeah, basically,
morning.
I just want to get straight to the point, man. I just want to call in and wish my Twin Federation Islands good luck with this COVID virus situation amidst the minor community spread that I understand that you guys may have a community spread there now. This has been a debate from the outset, and people have the choice of taking the vaccine or not. I wasn't really a proponent of the vaccine, but once my pop's doctor told him, one day I took my pops to the doctor. Once his doctor told him he should take the vaccine, I made a personal decision to take the vaccine myself as well to protect him. And I had some chills overnight, and I got like fatigued the next day when I went to work.
Yeah.
But overall, I think, my father, he seems like he did even better than me, and he's 93.
Wow.
And I wish him the best, man, because I had to take the vaccine to protect him, So our second dose was back in April 12th, and so far we're doing pretty well, man. I'm back to like 100%, man. And I noticed the narrative is now changing slightly in St Kitts and Nevis. I don't want you guys to go back into a lockdown, but it's all based on what you believe in, man. But me, I went to school, and I know we took vaccines in the past, and I very much believe in the science, bro. Because all these doctors that went to college and universities to study medicine. From listening to these programs coming through from the Federation, I've noticed that most of the medical officials there, they're going to root for the vaccine because these guys, that's what they did. They went to school to study medicine. It's nowhere that easily you're going to find a medical doctor who's going to talk against the vaccine. And the opposition leader there, I know he's a doctor himself. He stated clearly he's not against the vaccine, but they just wish that it was done in a different fashion. But all in all, the people of St Kitts and Nevis got to get together, bro. Y'all got to unite. It's only 52,000 people there, and that's the amount of people that has died in New York state and count that. And if this virus take a hold in the community there, it's going to be a total different situation. And I would just advise the masses of the people there not to just sit around and watch this thing changing. Prevention is better than cure. The narrative is now changing a little bit, at least. It start changing. But I believe the Prime Minister, he should just maybe get everybody on board, man. It's not too late. They need to make a move. This whatever is going on between them and the opposition, him and the opposition leader, and one or two other politicians there, they have to get past that, man. They got to put country above self, bro. The motto for St Kitts and Nevis is country above self, and I'm not seeing that happening right now, man. They need to get past that and put the health of the people forward and try to eradicate this thing, because the coronavirus, you're not going to realize that it's real until it hits home and take out some of your friends or your family members. But I just want to wish everybody the best, man, and just keep the faith, man. All right, that's my contribution.
All right, man, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks.
Country above self, eh?
Yeah. I think he made a good point, because the country's motto is country above self, and I don't think that this pandemic is that's oppositions are made to oppose. That's what they do. But I don't think this is something that we need to go tit for tat on. It could be a collaborative effort. If you have a suggestion, you could present present the suggestions and stuff. But I just don't feel like this is time for opposition stuff.
Bro, the thing about it for me is like that's one of the things that's concerning for me, to be honest. I would have seen the like a presentation from Dr. Douglas about the response. At one point he was talking about he felt that he was being accused of not supporting people going for the vaccine or whatever, and
he was vocal about
but this is my thing too, like, and a lot of things that he said I totally agree with. I agree with the need for education. I agree with the need to have targeted campaigns and all these things that he was saying. But at the same time I did think to myself, but you're a medical doctor. Like, these platforms, you have these platforms as leader of the opposition, as a medical doctor. Like, where is your voice in this? Whether or not you're part of whatever the government program is or not, right? Because one of the things was that, you felt that they weren't included as the opposition.
So launch your own campaign.
That's my whole thing. And not only that, there's more. The chairman of the party is a medical doctor, right?
Oh,
the leader of the party is a medical doctor,
and several doctors within the party.
And so looking for, okay.
As a matter of fact, the Labour Party come with doctors and team unity.
Yeah.
Bro, so it's like I'm really waiting to hear what the platform is, because it there's so much energy put into accusing, and the thing is, I think this would be a good thing for the party. I think
it'll be a wonderful
and I don't be but who advising this?
Listen to me, if the Labour Party came together and launched a campaign that they thought would work best in terms of education, dissemination of information, and use their outlets. They have radio stations, they have their mouthpieces on social media, they have their propagandaists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they have 2 members of parliament.
I
launch a campaign. That's what Dr. Douglas.
Serious talk.
If Timothy is so wrong, show him how to do it.
And the thing about it, right? I'm listening to what he said, and I'm agreeing with some of the stuff he's saying about how things could have been handled or whatever. I say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what are you doing?
So now what?
Yeah. So
as a matter of fact, I agree with them both. When Timothy said like his silence is a disservice to the country.
Yeah.
It is.
You're right.
And he's saying, well, I turned down my help and I doing this thing wrong. Okay. Now what?
It is still country, but why is this our
We politicize everything.
You know why? Because
and I
because-
don't think it needs to be politicized. Like I said, do your own campaign. If your supporters are looking at you for
guidance.
prompt, give them the prompt.
Exactly.
I tell
You
it-
know, you say do your part. Yeah, because to be quite honest, it does not feel like you are doing your part. And
Bro.
that's what it all boils down to. For a motto which says "country above self,"
There's
you
nothing.
are
There's
not
nothing to
doing your
stop
part.
stop Labour from having town halls and so
That's
on.
what I'm
Nothing, you know.
Oh,
Okay, bro, like this
Have your
is
town
so
halls,
tense, right?
encourage your supporters, give them information. If they're not listening to political members because of the political stance they hold or whatever party it is, then you be that voice they're waiting for.
But my thing is this, Kevon. Like I've seen and I've heard people literally refer to the vaccine as Tim vaccine. As a matter of fact,
Yeah,
there's
but
one
like
lady
what-
who went
Oh my
to
God.
get the vaccine, and when she come out, people from a village ask her, "Oh, you want to take Tim vaccine?" And I'm just like,
Yeah,
that
like,
is how
like
political,
how does a globally
politicized.
made vaccine become Tim's vaccine? What does Tim have to do with the vaccine?
It's more the vaccine, maybe.
and then we're going to say that we're not trying to educate and stuff, but these is the things that y'all taking from the education. Like, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I just think we all have a part to play, because, like I was saying earlier, the loudest voices, it seems like, especially on a lot of the social media networks, are the voices who are against not only the vaccine, but who don't believe this thing exists, who don't believe, and those voices seem to be loudest on those.
But you know what? The
networks, platforms.
biggest issue is, in terms of people not taking this thing serious, the whole philosophy that quote unquote COVID ain't in St Kitts.
That's what I'm telling
Yeah.
Yeah.
you. That's what I'm
And I
telling
see that every single day on social media.
Yeah.
But
We ain't gonna
it's COVID in St Kitts, so why
you. Why take the vaccine? Why this? Why?
Timothy should come out first and say COVID in St Kitts? Because it is.
Mm,
It is. And it always has been.
yeah.
There was never a point where we had like was there ever a point where we had all
That's true. Wait,
cases recovered?
I don't know.
Yeah, there were a few
moments?
I think there were a few moments where we
they've
had
never-
zero
Not for long, though.
cases.
But no,
they've
not for
never
long.
actually said that it's here. That's which
But-
is weird because people.
But no, but they'll say we have active cases, but they're in quarantine. But we have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Good morning. Congratulations, first of all, on the 1 year anniversary.
That's it.
Yes. Now, it is, I find, somewhat unfair to be targeting the opposition with this, because the opposition is a political party as well. I don't see the other parties, and we have a number of them in the Federation, being targeted like that and asking them to do the same things that you're asking the Labour Party to do, right? I think that this thing about people waiting on a particular personality or a particular party to tell them to take the vaccine is overblown, right? Because I am sure that it must be a very tiny minority of less than 1% who are going to not make the correct decisions on their health because of somebody else.
What?
It just goes against the grain.
It's-
It goes against the grain of self-interest.
Bro.
Okay.
Bro.
Well, okay, just hear me out.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying there aren't people like that. There are some people
Right,
who,
yes.
who are extremely ignorant and extremely
Gullible?
gullible, all of that, right? But we're 98% literate. I think the number of people like that is very tiny. And so I don't think they contribute to a whole lot to what's happening here, okay? The fact is, we can only have one leader at a time, okay? And it seems kind of disingenuous to be saying, well, to be calling for an all of society approach when it is convenient. That is not how it works, right? If you lead in a country, you are supposed to make sure that everybody comes on board. Now, if they're reluctant, fine, right? But I did not see that kind of reluctance at the outset. right? What I saw was people refusing, although they paid lip service to it, refusing to adopt the all of society approach. I guess maybe it might have been because, well, they felt they were doing fine and wanted to hog all the credit, etc., etc. Okay, but that is what I saw at the outset. You don't leave out people at the front end and then try to bring them in at the back end.
Yeah, I know what you mean by, and people really, like you said, really does have the responsibility to make decisions for themselves by. Like I really catch what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody outside there would not want to make the right decisions for themselves and their family. I mean,
in spite
bordering on stupidity.
Evening cases where they may have been left out initially.
When you say in cases where they may have been left out initially, what do you mean?
No, you said people,
look at people now, right? The fact that the vaccination rates were falling and so on. I don't think that was because they were waiting for anybody to tell them to go and take a vaccine, right? They made a personal decision whether they're afraid of vaccines generally, or they didn't think that it was that urgent to do it then, or they were waiting for other vaccines, or a multiple of other reasons, right? But it seems kind of strange that now one opposition element is being targeted. It sounds almost as if they're being blamed for the fact that some people didn't take the vaccine or haven't taken it yet. Okay, and I'm saying that is not the case. Most people, less than 1%, would actually have the temerity to do something like that. Okay, once they feel that their health is good for their health, they would do the right thing. I don't think, I think the blame, that's what it almost sounds like, on the opposition is unwarranted. Okay,
so
one leader at a time.
Do you believe that? Not only Dr. Douglas, but doctors in general have a responsibility to make their voice heard in regards to their position on the vaccine?
Absolutely, but then remember, just like you normally say, there are face of the show, right, who are in leadership even among the doctors, who we expect to be making those pronouncements. I don't know how many doctors there are in St. Kitts, but I'm pretty sure, and 90% I think it was said, of them have taken the vaccine, right? But I'm pretty sure you have not heard from 90% of them.
No, but do all of them have the same platform? Do all of them have the same platform, though?
No, all of them don't, right? But so
do you believe those with a platform should use their platform?
Well, and don't they do it in their way? You're saying that
excuse me?
use the platform to essentially push the government line, but that is not necessarily what one should use the platform for. If, for instance, as you just pointed out, take the case of Dr. Douglas, you mentioned that you agreed with some of the things he was saying, okay? I don't think I recall him saying that people should not take the vaccine. He's saying people should be more educated about it, etc., etc. Okay?
Yeah, that was the point I was making.
He should come straight out.
No, the point I was making is that he's suggesting that education is needed. More education is needed. My position is, as a medical doctor with a platform, who is also a political leader
and a member of parliament,
should use that platform to do some of the same education that he's talking about. If you disagree, then
I agree.
Okay, but that's all I was saying.
My understanding was that he did that at a constituency meeting. For instance, if you're saying he should be more visible on public radio, maybe the government should give the opposition more access to public radio, public media generally, to promulgate whatever it wishes to promulgate, including health matters. Okay? So there's a say one, say two situation here, right? But generally I'm saying, okay, do not pass this off as opposition reluctance to support what is right on this issue, to get to herd immunity, because that is the narrative I think is being channeled, that opposition and the supporters.
By whom? Just to clarify, by whom?
Mm-hmm.
By the government?
Well,
by me?
But by government, but by the government supporters.
Okay.
Saying that the opposition supporters and the opposition don't want the country to get to herd immunity because it would make the government look good. And I'm saying that is just as extreme a position and just as irresponsible to say as those who would say, I'm not taking the government the vaccine because it's going to make the government look good. Both are extreme positions and both are bad, I think. It doesn't help the situation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, then.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, a few things. I was taking notes. a few things. The caller made a comment about, there only being one leader, and there can only be one leader. I disagree.
Yeah, big time.
There can only be one prime minister,
Mm.
but there can be several leaders, and they all play their role, and they all should play their role. And secondly, he also mentioned that on the front end, there was some resistance by the government to accept the help of the opposition. So why they wanted to come on the back end to ask for help. And my answer to that is that would give Labour a grand opportunity to actually rebuild the trust and regain the confidence of the people of St Kitts and Nevis, if that is what they want to do. Right? This isn't a time to say, oh, well, I didn't call us last week when we was calling, so don't call us now.
If that is the position, that saddens me greatly, to be honest. If that is the position.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is actually exactly it.
I don't know if that's the position.
I don't know if that's the
But I do remember, especially Dr. Joe was very vocal about offering to help and
initially,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But if now what they're saying is don't come back to them to ask for the help because it wasn't taken before, I hope that's not the case, but it shouldn't be so.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
It shouldn't be so.
I wouldn't hope so.
And with regard to the comment about less than 1% of people going to actually take heed to what any political leader would say and actually follow the direction, that is absolutely incorrect.
Bro, but the whole point...
In 1993, the same Douglas led hundreds of people down to Church Street to our Simmons.
But bro, the whole point, with that whole thing to me don't... Because if you say make the right decision based for the healthcare, but when they're getting information that they're making a decision based on, how they know is the right one? Based on whoever they're listening to. And one of the issues that we having is that people are listening to all sorts of sources. That's one of the biggest problems we have in people getting the information from all over the place and making decisions based on that. So if you have a trusted voice, if there's a voice that you trust, then how could you
Douglas?
How could you then downplay the impact?
Some would even argue that the majority of the country just in terms of popular vote for the prime ministership.
Right.
So why not use it? I don't.
Yeah, because we've been very critical here. We've been very critical in regards to the response of the government, and being suggesting ways in which we could really try and boost the let's say lessen the hesitancy, right? These are our ways. Like we all have a responsibility. We come here every day, talk on the radio, and all we do is just say, we are 37% today, and move on. Yes, we have that choice, but we also are not sure where people come and listen to us for our opinions, and so we should have an opinion. If we have an opinion on this, and
my opinion is that the leader of the opposition is a member of parliament, and at the end of the day, he answers to the people who put him there. and I am urging and I am humbly beseeching upon him, if you disagree with the way that government has rolled out this vaccine, if you disagree with the methods or the lack thereof of education as it relates to the vaccine, launch your own campaign with the support of your colleagues to fix the problem or to at least assist the problem. Remaining silent is an injustice.
And you see, this is the thing that is interesting to me. Like the conversations when you choose to then come on your platform and speak, and you speak purely from a political sense, like that to me is unfortunate. It's unfortunate all around, whether it's done by the government, the opposition, whoever. Like there are some things that I believe should supersede politics, right? Healthcare is one of them. Children is one of them. Education is one of them, right? That is why I think I said it here when Charles Wilkin was here the other day. I said this problem is these things don't even surprise me no more.
Nope.
After I sat back and I look at how the Bastille High School situation played out in the media, like it was obvious to me that there were some things that just don't trump politics. And there's hardly anything that does. As a matter of fact, I'm struggling to find one.
That's what I mean. Like everything has to be seen from a political standpoint. Like even now, right? We're talking about different things, and if you ask the comments, like no matter what we say, they aim it towards either the government.
Here we are trying to. We have. I think we're having a conversation that's basically saying, let's focus on the country, and in the same breath, we back to politicizing it again. Like,
if national heroes there, they got two different ceremonies.
We're supposed to be country.
I mean, the same heroes.
We're supposed to be country of themselves.
And I think like the original, well, not original, like the caller had said, I think it's just so ironic that for a country that screams country above self, we do the exact opposite.
It was never the case. Well,
it's an ideal for us to aim to.
Yes, okay.
It's an ideal, but it's just like we don't even try to get the ideal. It's just like it's like a free for all.
As in, we haven't begun to work to be there yet.
Obviously.
Oh boy.
Nothing. It's so well that we can't ever have anything that is equal or everybody on the same page when it comes to anything. Like, this is a serious health issue,
Machi, I don't even have an issue with people not being on the same page, right? That ain't my thing. Like
people will be on different pages forever.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Do it in a way
but towards what end? What is the goal here? When you open your mouth to speak, what is the goal? Right? What is the goal?
But I think this is an issue that's rooted beyond politics. I think this whole politicization of the COVID-19 pandemic in St Kitts and Nevis has little to do with the actual politics and more to do with a rift between the two leaders of the two parties.
So that needs fixing first and then everything.
That needs fixing first. Everything is going to fall in place. If Timothy and Douglas are willing to sit down in a room and agree to a truce, at least till the pandemic is over, everything will be alright.
At least until the pandemic is over. Yeah. Small wins.
Yeah.
Small wins.
Right now, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
And right now, COVID-19 is the enemy of Labour and of the community.
Yeah.
So if they unite under the flag of let me defeat this thing together, then we'll be in a much better place, and you will see more collaboration, and you will see, Timothy embracing the Labour construct, and most importantly, them embracing him because they, how they feel about him.
Yeah, I think that we at a very interesting place now, because I believe that, and I think I said it here before, and I could be wrong, it's just based on my observation, that the idea, like when we started dealing with COVID-19 and the issues we were having and things like that, I think that people had very well segmented roles in regards to the response. The political leaders had their issues, the medical professionals had their position, and I think those were very well separated. I think once we got the vaccine, I think those lines became a bit blurry. And so I think that in itself really helped shape the narrative that we have now. So where we are now is the fact, guys, that we are in a very peculiar position. Each of us have to do our part to try and limit the spread of the virus. Vaccines are available. If possible, go out and take your jab. If not, if you're not gonna do that, then please at least limit social interaction, social distance, wear your mask, sanitize.
And don't let nobody cough in your fears.
because you see, we have multi, when we have the press conferences, they talk about the pharmaceutical and the non-pharmaceutical route. The pharmaceutical route is your vaccine. But if you don't want to do that, for whatever reason you choose, there are non-pharmaceutical routes you still should take, which is like we just said, washing your hands, the mask, sanitization.
And stay home. You can be
all, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. It's a choice. However, being responsible is a part of not deciding to take the vaccine. You still have to be responsible, because doing nothing puts everybody at risk.
Yeah.
And they're going to take it serious until we have deaths. But until then,
which is the sad part, because it seems like figures of public figures need to start dropping down for people to be like, me, I'm it real. Like, did we not just see the world implode like last year?
No, they're gonna just say, well, people are dead all the time.
And that's why I believe the Prime Minister
people started dead. Oh, people only started dead when COVID come. The amount of nonsense here.
The PM should implement the curfew until they finish tracking down this thing.
Yeah, I think, but I do think we get into that point. Some people, like Amali saying, feel that we are already at that point. So
we were at that point last week Tuesday.
Yeah, that's yeah.
From the time the woman was tested positive, and we know she went and bus and went doctor, and so curfew immediately, because that means people are already infected, and the numbers this week are reflecting that. It's not rocket science. From the get-go, the one thing we knew about COVID, the one thing, if you didn't know anything else about it, about effects and timing and thing, the one thing we knew is that it moves with people.
Right.
You stop people from moving, the virus stops moving. Is 1 + 1 = 2 when it comes to that.